Take you to Limpopo now, where Education MEC Boshielo is expected to visit Mbilwi Secondary School in Thohoyandou this morning. Now, this is the institution where Lufuno Mavhunga actually attended school. Mavhunga took her life earlier this week following an alleged assault by a fellow pupil. A video of this incident where she was assaulted by another pupil has sparked outrage across the country, with many now calling for action insofar as this matter is concerned. Our ZikhonaTshona is just outside the school for us. She joins us now live. Zikhona, a situation like this certainly would have a bearing on how a school's able to go about its ordinary business. I wonder what you're seeing on a morning like this, where many people are asking what type of school this is and how something like this could have happened.
Good morning, Ian. I didn't quite catch the last part of your question, but if it's with regards to schooling, we have seen pupils making their way to the school this morning, and as you've mentioned, the MEC of Health, Popimba Ramatuba, as well as that of Education, Boshielo, will be visiting the school this morning to get an understanding from the school as to what exactly transpired in the incident that involved Lufuno Mavhunga, which tragically allegedly led to her death. Now, yesterday we were at the family home. The family saying that they've received a report from the school which tells them that it was a mutual fight between the girls, and we know from reports that we've heard from pupils who have spoken out about the tragedy that allegedly Lufuno apparently did try and inform two educators about what happened, because it happened in the morning. She went to the principal and another teacher to say, this is what happened to me, and she was ignored. Thereafter, she went home, and the brother relaying really tragically what happened, all her last moments alive, saying that she got home and told her mother what happened at school. Her mother tried to comfort her. She went into a room and she sent the video that was going viral on social media to a brother that was in Pretoria. Her brother called the school to try and get understanding as to what exactly happened, and he got no luck. Thereafter, the mother walked into a room and found her daughter collapsed on the ground. We have been told by the family that the mother does suffer from anxiety. So since hearing about the passing of her daughter, who tragically had to be taken to hospital after they found her unconscious on the ground at their home, she took her last breath there, and the mother really has been unconsolable since. We were at the family home, just standing outside, speaking to neighbors and relatives, and you could constantly just hear her crying as people were trying to comfort her throughout the day yesterday. You know, and I've received several messages on social media from former pupils from the school. I just want to read this one in particular, who says, I attended the same school throughout my high school career, and I can confidently say that there has been many cases of bullying that occurred throughout my time there, but the school really never took any major action to try and address the overall problems. On top of the bullying, there are also ongoing cases of corporal punishment at the same school. He goes on to say, I have been a victim of bullying and corporal punishment at the school. I still remember vividly how I got beaten by a former teacher. So people, this has triggered a lot of people who say they tried in their schooling life at the school to speak out and try and get help, and they got nothing. We've seen another video coming out of the same school of two pupils embroiled in a fight. So these are the kind of questions that the MEC will have to try and get from the school. What are they doing to address the violent scenes that we've seen playing out here? Because according to those who have attended the school and those that are at the school currently, there have been many fights, and it's a daily occurrence. We heard from Lufuno's brother yesterday saying that Lufuno would on many occasions come home and say there's lots of fighting at school. There was a fight today at school. We've heard the MEC of Social Development saying that there has been social workers who have been brought into the school to talk to Lufuno's friends as well as teachers and people other learners in particular that see themselves as victims of bullying at the school or have been involved in any kind of fight. Now, ironically, Angie Mutsecha yesterday telling us that this is one of the top performing schools in this province, that year on and year on, it does produce a number of pupils in the top 20 of the national matric results. So she says she doesn't understand why this is happening at the school, and it's certainly something that they will have to look into. So the MEC of Education really has to get to the bottom of that report that has been compiled by the school, because the stories we're hearing on the ground and the report that has been given to the family do not align. They are too different. The school is saying that it was not reported to them. On the ground, pupils are saying, Lufuno did try and speak to someone to say, this is what happened to me at the school. So the MEC will certainly have to try and get to the bottom of this. After this visit, she will be making her way to the family home to convey her condolences. We know that she's released several statements about the incident, but this is the first time she will be visiting the family home.
Really difficult details to try and sit through there, Zikhona. Thanks very much indeed for giving us the much-needed context. We know now how to gaze upon the MEC as soon as she arrives there. ZikhonaTshona, live to us there from Thohoyandou, just outside the Mbilwi Secondary School. That's where, sadly, Lufuno Mavhunga was assaulted, and it's believed that's what led to her essentially passing on through suicide. Zikhona, thanks very much indeed. No doubt we'll be speaking to you once again throughout the course of the morning.